Confused about how to apply for IPO and check the allotment status? Stay tuned because today we are going to discuss about the simplest way possible. By the end of this particular video, I will be expecting you to become pro in understanding the role of merchant banker and RTAs, and of course, you should become pro in understanding how to check the status of those IPOs and how to apply for this. Okay, so whether you are a beginner, whether you are an experienced investor, this guide will teach you how to apply for IPO, and how to check the status, how to check the allotment status, how many shares are allotted to you. You will be able to come to know about the steps in this particular video. Okay, and we are going to talk about what are the behind the scene merchant bankers and RTH responsibility will be for the smooth process or smooth or fair process, which I should say. Okay, and this knowledge will help you to make smart investment decision. Okay, so that's the overall goal which I'm bringing. So let's quickly jump into the topic which we are going to discuss in this beautiful video. So these are the things which we are going to cover today. Yes, so these are the things which we are going to cover today, how to apply and check your status. So the first and foremost thing, what does this IPO mean? If you want to know more about what is the IPO and what are the important things, what happens in the IPO, then I'll suggest you to go to the previous two videos where we discussed a lot of things about the IPOs. Okay, so in brief, I should say what is an IPO? An IPO, or initial public offering, is a company's way of going public. Okay, where the company will invite all the public to be part of their growth story. Now, how do you ensure that you will be part of this journey? Let's find out. Okay, so first and foremost thing, if you go to the second point, we'll discuss about the step-by-step guide to apply for an IPO. Now, we're going to have the easy and digestible steps to go through it. So the first and foremost thing, if you want to apply for the IPO, you will be needing these important three things. The first and foremost thing, you must have the demat account. Second one, we must have a PAN card, and of course you must have the UPI ID to do the transaction. Okay, so the steps will be very simple. First, we got to log into our trading application or the banking platform from where you want to apply for the IPO. Then you have to navigate to the IPO section or the bid section where all the IPOs will be available which are coming in the market. Then you got to select the IPO, enter the bid details, and you got to approve the UPI, whatever the transaction you want to do, and it will be for ASBA. Now you might be asking what this ASBA means. ASBA means application supported by blocked amount. So whenever you apply for the IPO, all the money does not directly get transferred. Rather than it will be part of those ASBA which will be blocked, so that you will have the flexibility, to work with it, and the amount will not directly go to the company because in case if you did not get the allotment, then what will happen? You might have to change them, right? So that's the reason why there is one separate account which will be between you and the IPO, and the amount will be over there, so that so that you can also not use those amount, and the IPO people or the company which are raising the IPO, they will also not be able to use it. Okay, and of course you have to wait for the allotment status. So let's see how you can do it. So I'm going to show you those steps one by one. Now, when you go, the first and foremost thing, how to apply for those IPOs, you have to, whenever you go to your demat account or the trading terminal, you will be able to find one of the place called bids. Okay, so when you click on the bids, you will be able to find this sort of the screen. Okay, and if you want to apply for those IPOs, there are two types of IPOs which we have already discussed in the previous video. One is called SME IPOs and another are the normal IPOs. So in this video, we're going to talk about how to apply for the IPOs. So you got to click on apply. Now, when you click on apply, automatically it will show you all the details about the UPI ID and all of those. Okay, so let me click on the IPO and I'll show you how it will look like. Okay, so typically when you see the screen, it will be looking like this. Okay, and let's think that you have clicked on any of the IPO which you want to apply, then automatically here is the place where you got to enter your UPI ID. Okay, so let's think that any of the UPI ID you got to enter, and the best thing is whenever you are applying for the IPOs, always if you want to get the maximum chance for the allotment, then better to pick the cutoff price. So when you click on the cutoff price, that's the best possible chance. And of course, if you want to create the new bid, you can click on add it. So here will be how many maximum bids you can do. The more the bids, there are more chances that you will be getting the chance for the allotment. Okay, now after that, when you click on the submit button, automatically the approval will be coming into your UPI account, and when you click on that particular approval, then what will happen? The amount will be part of the ASBA account. Okay, and thereafter, what you got to do? You got to wait for the further process, and you will be getting the allotment updates within 3 to 4 days. So very important thing, as I told you, whenever you're applying, you should tick cutoff price to increase the chances of allotment. So this is one of the things which I wanted to share with all of us. Now the second thing is very important thing, how to check the allotment status. There are multiple ways to check the allotment status. The first and foremost way, you can directly go to the stock exchange website, and of course you can go to the RTA website also, and there are many of the familiar IPO websites are also there. From there you can check the current status of the IPOs. So the first and foremost way to check the IPO status, these are some of the links which I'll be sharing with all of us. So these links are very, very self-explanatory. So when you open these links, I'm going to open in front of you and show you how you will be able to navigate through all the links. Okay, the first link, don't worry about the links, I'll be sharing all the links in the description section as part of the document. So when you click on this link, automatically it will look like this, and here is the place you got to tick which IPO you have applied. So let's think that if you have applied for this Lakshmi Dental, you got to enter your PAN number, application number, click on submit. Automatically you will come to know whether the allotment for the IPO has happened for you or not. Okay, similarly the BSE, if the company is being listed on BSE, then this is the way how you can do it. You got to choose, if you are applying for equity, click on equity. You got to choose the issue name, whichever the companies are coming into the market. You can choose that. Click on share your application number, and this application number will be available in your Demat account. You have to enter a PAN number, and you will be able to come to know about the current status of your IPO, whether it got allotted or not. Okay, now the second way to get the status of the IPO is through RTA website. So RTA website, there are many of those RTA will be available, something like Link in Time and Caffeine Tech. So if you want to look into the status of those IPOs, or we can go to this link. Here is the place where you have to choose which company you have applied for, enter the PAN number and submit. Automatically, if the company or the shares are allotted to you, automatically it will be showing you as part of the allotted number of stocks. Okay, now the second thing is Caffeine Tech. So similar way, these are also some of those RTOs where you will be able to come to know about the status of your IPOs, whether whether those got allotted or not. Now typically allotment time takes 3 to 5 days, so you got to wait for the almost 3 to 5 days to get the IPO status. Okay, now behind the scene, what happens? So typically there are two types of intermediaries which are involved during those IPO process. The first and foremost thing is called merchant banker. Who are merchant banker? These are the financial experts behind the scene who helps company to launch their IPOs. They decide the price, they will be handling those paperwork, they will be ensuring that everything is SEBI compliant. Okay, the second one is called RTA, register to an issue. Once the IPO closes, the RTA steps in to manage the allotment. They will be refunding all the amount which were not allotted. Okay, think of them as an execution team who will be ensuring the fairness and accuracy of those IPOs. So thanks to the roles of these, and that's the reason why IPO is so smooth and transparent right now, especially in India. Okay, now what are the pro tips for investors? If you are an investor, then the first and foremost thing is, if you want to get the allotment, you must apply with the different PANs. Okay, so that means if you are having family members, you will be able to use it, or maybe, and very important thing, you got to apply legally. Okay, so when you apply legally through the PANs, there are more chances that you will be getting those allotments. Always apply for the IPO using those cutoff price, and very important thing, you can keep track of the GMP, which is nothing but gray market premium, but please don't use the GMP price to take the decision, because many times it gets failed. So you got to be very careful while applying for the IPO. Don't apply only because of the GMP is high. Okay, there are some of the frequently asked question, common issues many of the people face. First and foremost thing is, what if you don't get the allotment of the shares? Okay, so don't worry, funds will be unblocked automatically within 2 to 3 days, and you will be getting an email also that you didn't get the allotment. In case if you face issue, you can reply to that mail, and the team, RTA team, will always be there for you to help. Okay, the second thing is, why can't I see the allotment status yet? So allotments are typically updated within 3 to 5 working days after the IPO closes. So you have to be very careful, and you got to wait for 3 to 5 working days to see the status, and the links which I discussed right now will be sharing on the description section. So did you find this guide useful? Then please let me know on the comment section. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share to this beautiful video for the more stock market insight. And in the next video, we will be doing the deep dive about the IPO analysis and how to pick the best ones for the investment. So those are the things which are lined up So thank you so much for watching this video. Happy investment, happy trading, happy learning.